Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news from around the world. We have a lot of ground to cover, but first, let's dive into a developing story in the Middle East. Over the weekend, Israel announced that it had killed a senior Hamas commander, Raed Sayed, in a strike on a car in Gaza City. According to Israeli officials, Sayed was one of the architects of the October 2023 attacks on Israel, which killed over 1,200 people and led to a significant escalation of violence in the region. The Israeli military said that Sayed was targeted in response to an attack by Hamas earlier on Saturday, in which an explosive device injured 2 Israeli soldiers. The strike on the car in Gaza City killed 5 people and wounded at least 25 others, although it's not clear if Sayed was among those killed. Hamas has condemned the attack as a violation of the ceasefire agreement, but so far, they have stopped short of threatening retaliation. The October 10 ceasefire has been fragile, with both sides accusing each other of violating the terms. Despite this, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have returned to Gaza City's ruins, and aid flows have increased. However, violence has not completely halted. Palestinian health authorities say that Israeli forces have killed at least 386 people in strikes in Gaza since the truce, while Israel claims that 3 of its soldiers have been killed since the ceasefire began. The situation remains tense, with both sides digging in and showing no signs of backing down. The international community is watching closely, with some calling for a renewed commitment to the ceasefire and others pushing for a more permanent solution to the conflict. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. What do you think is the key to resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? Share your thoughts with us on social media using the hashtag #Barbara'sBulletin. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're continuing our discussion on some pressing issues that have been making headlines lately. In this segment, we're going to delve into a topic that sparked quite a bit of concern among travelers and immigration advocates alike. It appears that the Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, has been forwarding passenger lists to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, in order to detain and deport individuals who are subject to deportation orders. According to reports from reputable sources such as The New York Times and Mother Jones, this practice has been ongoing since March, with the TSA sending files to ICE on a near-daily basis. These files include not only the names of the individuals, but also their photographs and flight information, which ICE then uses to detain them before they board their flights. This collaboration between the TSA and ICE has raised significant concerns about the potential for abuse of power and the erosion of civil liberties. Many have pointed out that this practice seems to be in defiance of orders by federal judges not to deport certain individuals, and it prevents those affected from being able to challenge the process in a timely manner. As my colleague Isabella Diaz so astutely observed, this policy appears to be part of a broader effort by the U.S. government to normalize casual cruelty and overt racism under the guise of protecting national security. It's a troubling development that highlights the need for greater transparency and accountability in our government's actions, particularly when it comes to issues of immigration and national security. We'll continue to monitor this situation and provide updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this issue? Do you think the TSA's collaboration with ICE is a necessary measure to ensure national security, or does it go too far in infringing on individuals' rights? Share your comments with us on social media using the hashtag #Barbara'sBulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, let's take a look at the latest developments in international relations. President Trump has been increasing pressure on Venezuela and its leader, Nicolás Maduro, with the recent seizure of a massive oil tanker en route to Cuba being the most notable example. The tanker, called Skipper, was sanctioned by the U.S. government, and its seizure is seen as a significant escalation of tensions between the two nations. The Trump administration has been vocal in its criticism of Maduro's regime, imposing additional sanctions on his leadership and calling for his removal from power. Venezuela has been plagued by economic crisis, corruption, and human rights abuses, leading to widespread condemnation from the international community. While some argue that the U.S. actions are necessary to hold Maduro accountable and bring about democratic change, others see them as an overreach of American power and a potential precursor to military intervention. The situation remains complex and volatile, with far-reaching implications for the region and global politics. As we consider the motivations behind Trump's moves, it's essential to acknowledge the nuances of the issue. Some experts point to the strategic importance of Venezuela's oil reserves and the potential benefits of regime change, while others highlight the risks of destabilization and the need for a more diplomatic approach. Ultimately, the path forward will depend on a delicate balance of geopolitical interests, economic pressures, and humanitarian concerns. As the situation continues to unfold, it's crucial to stay informed and engaged, considering multiple perspectives and evaluating the evidence. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay engaged.